What's going on, everyone? It's Tyler from House of Cards TCG, and DCS 5 is officially over, and we have the results for you. I was able to play in this tournament. I played with Dragonlink, so let's do a little recap of the tournament as well as the deck that I played with, and maybe some changes that I'd like to make. Again, this is with Dragonlink. So Dragonrider Games LLC online Yu-Gi-Oh tournaments. That's where you're gonna be able to find more tournaments like this. They host a ton. They host for cards, prize money, different things like that. Not as big as this tournament was, but you can still play in other highly competitive tournaments by going to them. So let's go ahead and check it out. So we had 111 players competing in this tournament, and out of that, there were 21 Sword Soul. 21 Sword Soul. 20% of the entries were Sword Soul, which is insane, which is why I cited Token Collector. Then we had 14% coming in with Tri-Brigade Lyrilisc. 11% Invoked Dogmatica DPE. So there is your like majority of the representation, right? That's 34, 48%. There's half of the entire, almost half of the entire entries were Invoked Dogmatica, Bird Up, and Sword Soul, which is insane. So the one thing that I can tell you about all this is that Dimensional Barrier hits all three of these decks. So I think that if I were to change anything going forward, I would definitely put it in Dimensional Barrier instead of Token Collector. However, Token Collector has a ton of synergy with Dragonlink, but Brave is coming out, so it's going to obviously change a lot. Then we had 9 Eldlich players. We had 8 Phantom Knight players. We had 6 Dragonlink players, maybe in one of those. Then we had 6 Sky Striker players, and then 33 just other rogues. And then out of that entire, I do have the pricing here. So first place, so this was a good tournament. $850 on the line. Second place, you still get $425. Top 4's at $210. But let's go ahead and check out the top 8 breakdown for this tournament. And here it is. Out of all that, you have 2 Phantom Knight, 2 Sky Striker, 2 Drytron, 1 Dragonlink, and 1 Bird Up. No Sword Soul. No Sword Soul made it to the top 8 of this tournament. Is it because people are playing Token Collectors? I don't know. However, what I can tell you is that there were no representation of Sword Soul at the top 8, which is absolutely insane. Did have the 1 Dragonlink player, the 1 Bird Up player, which is awesome. Then we had the 2 Phantom Knight players, the 2 Sky Strikers, and the 2 Drytrons, which is absolutely incredible. Now, here's what I'm going to tell you. At the top 4, here was who made it. We had a PK mirror match in the top 4. And then we had Drytron versus Sky Striker. So in top 4, one of the Drytron made it, one of the Sky Striker made it, and then both Phantom Knights made it. And then that's where we saw top 4 matchup. That went to the finals, and in the finals we had Sky Striker versus Phantom Knights. Here's how it all turned down. The Phantom Knight player was on a 60-card build, and the 60-card Phantom Knight player won the actual tournament. He beat a 46-card build Sky Striker, and it's actually insane to see the rundown of what happened. Absolutely mind-blowing there. So that is your DCS breakdown. Now let's get into my deck here that I played. This was my Dragonlink deck. This is the one that I decided to run with the DCS. So I ran with 3 Saferd, 1 Black Metal, 1 Red Eyes Darkness Metal. The 1 Caliber actually does come up. I think it's very important in Dragonlink to play the 1 Caliber. Sometimes you want to Tracer pop, bring out Caliber if you have a level 4 extender. Or sometimes you just need that Caliber that can actually extend by going into the IP or going into Unicorn. This card can special summon itself into a zone that a Dark Link monster points to. So I think that, yeah, I just want to make sure that's what, yeah. So Dark Monster links to. So I think that 1 Caliber, sometimes you want to like just search it. Sometimes you want to see it. Sometimes abs effect. Sometimes you're going to search Caliber to extend. So the 1 Caliber definitely came up a lot. I would not cut it. 2 Tracers, 1 Recharger, 2 Synchron. That was perfectly fine. I think that's a good ratio. One Synchron for your turn going first, and then another Synchron is always good for the follow-up on the bring back. So I think that those 2 are good ratios there. 3 Quick Launch, perfect. 2 Nocto, 2 Abs. This is obviously, I think, a really good. I would consider maybe cutting 1 Nocto, but I don't think I like having the 2 and 2 here. It came up a lot where I opened up a Saferd, or I had Saferd, and I was able to pitch Abs, search Nocto, get the Abs effect. So this synergy with these 2 and 2 came up great. The 1 Odd Eyes Revolution Dragon, and that searches your Chaos Emperor. I will say that these two cards are clutch in the deck. They really worked out well. I thoroughly enjoyed. There's never a time where actually like I just didn't like having these cards in my deck. Chaos Emperor provides that extra push that you need to break boards and to also go for OTK. He comes up a ton, as well as I never even utilized his second effect, which is to send cards. He has another effect, right? Monster effect. You could send cards that you control to the graveyard up to the number of cards sent to the graveyard. Then inflict $300 damage to your opponent for each card sent to their graveyard by this card effect. So if I set, let's say, Droplet Imperm, and I have whatever else, another card, I can send 4 cards on my side of the field to the grave by his effect. Send, not destroy, 4 cards on my opponent's field and inflict 300 damage. It's a great card. It breaks boards. I liked Chaos Emperor. I'm always going to play this card going forward in my Dragon Link deck. And then the Odd Eyes to be able to search it, and being a light come up a lot, as well as a lot of times with just so I don't know. It's Odd Eyes is definitely cuttable, but I like seeing it to put a light in the grave, and then it searches Chaos Emperor as well. So I like playing Odd Eyes. These two cards are perfectly fine. Of course, you got your Black Dragon, your White Dragon, your Chaos Dragon Leviair, your 3 space. I do have the Chamber and 2 tidying in here. A lot of times I want to cut this package, but then I play against back row decks that have floodgates, and I realize how important tidying is. Tidying is your out to your floodgates or your out to Mystic Mine, and it's like we won't play another way out against those. So I think that tidying is important literally just for floodgates, and it's unfortunate because sometimes I just don't like it, right? Then I had the Boot Sector launch, the Dragon Ravine. I played 3 droplets, 3 Imperm, and the Gamma with Called By. And thing about those are, I don't know if I need a main deck Gamma. I think Gamma is great in the side, but it's just like never really came up. Sometimes it comes up. Gamma you could definitely consider. It's definitely throwable. Not 100% sold on Gamma yet. But not sure. Called By, obviously important. Just with DPE and everything else, that's also really important. In the extra deck, I played 1 Striker Dragon. I played 1 Pisty, 1 Romulus, 1 Quad Burrow, 2 Seal, 1 Hawk, literally never came up, 1 IP, 1 Unicorn, 1 Access Code. You're probably thinking, oh, what is this spice down here? Well, in the hundreds of duels that I've played with Dragon Link, Appaloosa has never came up, and if Appaloosa does have a chance to come up or an opportunity to come up because I haven't used Tracer's effect or Synchron's effect that lock me into darks, well, I'm probably winning the game at that point anyway, so it's almost overkill. So I actually cut Appaloosa for this deck, and I went with Hot Red, Savage, Chaos Ruler, the Sanafond with the Zeus. Here's the thing about this. Zeus came up a lot, actually. If you go Sanafon and your opponent has a bunch of monsters in the grave, you have a bunch of monsters in the grave, this card easily gets over 3,000 attack. Very easily. There is a lot of things that you can then attack into because this card has so much attack. And then all you do is you slap Zeus on top of that. Pass, right? Now play. It's like Zeus actually did come up a lot in the tournament. So I did like having this package in here. Sanafon, other than that, it's not really that great. And you got to be able to play rank 8, level 8 kind of spammy, which of course I play with the Chaos Emperor, with Levy, with Savage, and with the Chaos Ruler. I'm able to get into it. But other than that, the not being able to special summon from grave can hurt you. It just doesn't really, it didn't do enough. But I did like having this package, and I think that if you have the extra deck space, and after you see my changes, if you can't maybe do those changes, this is definitely a good tech option. I actually liked it. Don't get me wrong. I just think that there was better ways to play with this. In the side, I did run 2 Cosmics, 1 Reboot, 1 Pink. My thinking was for any floodgates, I can use Pink and I can use Red Reboot, or any of these. Like, these just take care of any floodgates, which like goes in, or like TC Boo, those things I can get rid of them. Obviously, you got your Lancia, Drolls, Nibs, and then I had played 2 Token Collector because Token Collector is easy to access. If you mill it off the Chaos Ruler, you can special summon this card from the graveyard. So you can see that you can also, special summon this from the grave. So if you go first and you can mill this, or you can get it in your hand, you pretty much shut down the Sword Soul players. And I think I resolved it twice. I had 2 matchups with Sword Soul. Let me take a look at this here. So I lost to Eldlich in round 1, then I lost to Sword Soul in round 2, so I started out X2, it was fantastic, and then I beat Prank Kids. I didn't write down my round 4, but I won that one. Won my round 5 against a burn deck, and then in that round 6, I actually lost to Sword Soul, and it was unfortunate, which I have the replay coming. You'll be able to see it. It was a good match. Unfortunately, Protoss is a card that shuts us completely down. So anyway, that was my deck that I brought to the DCS, and as you can see, maybe we can get to this Dragon Link deck so we can check that out. Now let's talk about some changes that I made to the Dragon Link deck. So obviously, you can see the big changes. I think Enforcer is insane in this deck. So we're going to go with 3 Safer, 1 Black Metal, 1 Red Eyes standard. We got the 2 Tracers, 1 Recharger, 1 Caliber, 2 Synchron, 3 Quick Launch, 2 Abs, 2 Nocto. Still got our Odd Eyes Chaos Emperor package. Levy, White Dragon, Black Dragon, 3 Space, Chamber with the 2 Dragon Maid, the Boot, and the Ravine. I decided to add in 2 Malicious, and here's why. Not only is Malicious an extender in the deck to enable you to climb into your plays, but at the same time, if you mill 1 Malicious, you don't have to add the other. Like, you don't have to add it to your hand, because like Chaos Ruler does kind of conflict with playing the Enforcer. So if you mill a Malicious, it's not the end of the world because you play a second one. But if you fulfill Fusion Destiny, you can send the Malicious, and then on the following turn when you go in for OTK, you can banish this card, and then special summon your other one. So I think that the Malicious Celestial is really good, as well as the draw 2, I think, is really important in this deck because sometimes you just need that extra gas to get you there. And so I wanted to utilize the draw 2, as well as I just like the seal tidying and then like a hot red. Sometimes those aren't enough. Like, you want that additional reoccurring, get rid of stuff. And I think that you got to play Enforcer and Dragon Link. I was kind of against it, but now I really like it. I'm going to test this out. I'm going to test this build out and see how it performs and see if there's any changes. I still have the 3 Imperm, 3 Veiler. I think that's really good. And the 1 Call By. I'm not really set on 40 cards anymore, so you can play more. And then we got the 1 Striker, Pisty, Anaconda that I added. The Romulus, 2 Seal, Quad Boral, IP, Hawk, Unicorn, Access Code, Ruler, Hot Red, Savage, and then the DPE. So this is kind of like the route that I decided to take with my Dragon Link. This is the updated, and I think that it will be really good. So I appreciate you guys for watching. That's been the DCS kind of roundup. As you can see, like I said, Phantom Knight, 60 card, goes ahead and he takes the DCS 5, which is insane. Beat a 46 card Sky Striker, which I never thought I'd see. It was actually pretty fun to play, and I'm excited for future tournaments. And that has been it. So let me know what you guys think below. Also, let me know what you think about my new Dragon Link deck. I think that Enforcer is just important for right now. I think that you got to play it. Dragon Links just need that little bit extra. Like, that draw 2, it's just so good. Like, people win on that Celestial draw 2. And so I'm to the point where it's like, you know what? We got to play it. We got to run it, right? So congrats. Kurt Cobain is actually the winner. That's literally his name. He won with the Phantom Knight 60 cards list. And appreciate you guys for watching. This has been Tyler with House of Cards TCG, signing out.